Good evening once again. I'm Stephanie Ruhle. Vladimir Putin's war on Ukraine is entering day 36, and Russian forces are bombarding areas around Kyiv just hours after pledging to scale back its attacks near the city. The Pentagon now calling the Kremlin's latest moves a repositioning rather than a withdrawal.
We've seen them begin to reposition less than 20%, our assessment today. And we think some of them, not all, but some of them have already moved into Belarus. It's our assessment that their intention is to reposition these units so that they can refit them for future operations. The airstrikes have not stopped, not at all. So Kyiv, as I said yesterday, is still very much under threat.
And now declassified U.S. intelligence suggests Putin is being misinformed by his own advisors about the war.
We have information that Putin felt misled by the Russian military, which has resulted in persistent tension between Putin and his military leadership. We believe that Putin is being misinformed by his advisors about how badly the Russian military is performing and how the Russian economy is being crippled by sanctions because his senior advisors are too afraid to tell him the truth.
Meanwhile, survivors in liberated cities are starting to emerge from their shelters. Richard Engel brings us the latest from eastern Ukraine tonight.
Leaving the city of Kharkiv today, it doesn't take long to reach the front line. Russian troops destroyed these cars while trying to invade the city. But in the fields overlooking the highway, we followed Ukrainian troops to see what U.S. officials tell NBC News Russian generals are afraid to show their president, that the Russian military is losing ground and suffering too many losses to hide. Russia never expected its invasion to be stopped in its tracks. Knocking out this position also allowed Ukrainian troops to recapture today the nearby village of Malorohan from Russian soldiers. The Babkov family was enjoying their new freedom. The bombings were horrible. The airstrikes were the worst, says Nadia. They showed me where they've been hiding all this time, without power.
I have a flashlight on my phone. Let's see if we can.
They stayed down in this cold, cramped cellar for the last 27 days.
Do you think the worst is over?
I hope our soldiers tame this beast. The Russian president is deranged, says Leonid. I wish his kids would have to go through this. Maybe then it would be different. His granddaughter Elisa spent her time drawing on the walls, images of happier days. It was my therapy to keep calm, she says. 88-year-old Praskovia was sitting by herself, disoriented and frightened. I'm so afraid. My whole body is shaking. At night, I cover myself in a blanket and I shake, she says. Mostly, she wanted comfort. Praskovia says she lived through World War II and doesn't have the strength to go through it all again.
Our thanks to Richard Engel for that report. Earlier today on a call, President Biden told Ukrainian President Zelensky that the United States will send an additional $500 million in aid to the Ukrainian people, while the White House is also keeping a close eye here on the pandemic. President Biden pressuring Congress for more funding to fight COVID. He then received his fourth shot after the CDC and FDA signed off on a second booster for adults ages 50 and older.